I actually went to sleep in my room. Ain't that something? I wake up as the sunlight starts to pour in through the window. Looks like the sun's just now coming up. Still dark out. It's cold. Wake up in the morning is getting tough. I get up, trying not to let the morning cold discourage me, and quickly fold up my futon. It's 5:30. I've always been an early riser, no matter how late I go to bed. I might mess up once in a while, like yesterday, but that's rare. Okay. Breakfast. I had Sakura do all the work yesterday, so it would look kind of bad if I didn't return the favor this morning. I should hurry up and finish making breakfast before Sakura comes. I cook rice and make miso soup. Yesterday the soup had daikon radish and carrots, so I'm making onion and potato miso soup today. I make the egg omelet and use the leftover konnyaku to simmer it with bonito flakes. I make incisions into the sari fish, which will be the main dish, and sprinkle it with a little salt. All I have to do is broil it, but that can wait until the last minute. Okay, that'll do it. It's almost 6. I finished earlier than expected, so I have some time on my hands. So what should I do with this extra time? Guess I'll work up a quick sweat if I have so much time. Morning exercise is my daily routine, so I might as well do some light workouts. The hushed atmosphere of an empty dojo encourages one to focus. And in the morning, just as the sun rises, its serenity makes the mood even more sacred, enthralling whoever visits the site. Anyway, there's only one thing I do here. Ever since my old man died, the dojo has turned into just a gym to train my body. Training to be a mage means I can't neglect training my body. One of the conditions of being a mage is maintaining yourself at your physical peak. When Kuretsugu was still alive, he and I sparred often. Well, more that he just kicked my ass every time, so I never really learned how to win myself. But at least I learned the difference between a fight and a battle. In other words, I learned the difference between killing and beating an opponent, and how to conduct myself in each situation. Knowledge and experience are different. Without the knowledge to know the difference, it's hard to tell if you've gotten yourself into a fight or a massacre. It's as simple as that. Learning MageCraft means that there is a risk of perishing on your own as well as the risk of having to fight. And to mages, that means killing each other. That's why Kuretsugu wanted to teach me that I must always be ready to face death. But the person reminding me of that lesson is long gone. So the only thing I can do alone is some simple exercises. Guess I better get on with it. After I stretch to warm up, I focus my inner strength and begin my exercises. As I train my body, I assess how my magic circuits affect my blood flow, my skeletal frame's creaking, the fatigue I feel, and how much that all distracts my thoughts. 120, 150, 170. I think I'm skipping a few numbers here. Even simple push-ups can train my magic circuits as long as I focus on my mental state rather than putting physical weights on my body. 170, that's a pretty good amount of push-ups, I think, right? With no proper mentor teaching me MageCraft, morning training is no different than what most sports clubs do, and they have become very important to me. Good morning, Senpai. Did you finish preparing breakfast already? Yeah, it's all done. All that's left to do is set the dishes and grill the fish. Oh, I'll help. Leave the dishes to me. Sakura is clearly eager in her reply. And coming in behind the ever-dependable Sakura... I saw Shiro's omelets. So he handled breakfast this morning, huh? Fujini casually heads to the table. Well, let's just ignore her for now. I need to grill the prepared fish. Sakura, use the middle set of plates. The food will look better on those. The plates with bumps on the surface? Yeah, those. Grilled meals tend not to look good if you don't plate them well. And I've already grated the daikon. Sakura reaches far to take out the plates. As she reaches out, I think I see a faint bruise on the back of her hand. What happened? Sakura, hold on a minute. Yes, what is it? What's that bruise on your hand? Oh. She averts her eyes, looking uneasy. Her reaction makes out she got the bruise clear. Is it Shinji again? Can't believe he beats his own sister. That's not it, Senpai. Well, I got this when I fell. You know how clumsy I am. On the back of your hand? That doesn't check out. I'm always falling and getting myself hurt. How stupid do you think I am? Nobody gets bruises like that just from falling. Seems like Shinji needs some sense smacked into him. No, Senpai! My brother really has nothing to do with this. And I just hurt myself, so there's no need for you to be angry for me. Sakura falls silent. Look, if it's not your brother, at least give me a plausible explanation. Sakura may seem docile, but she's surprisingly stubborn. It's no use saying anything to her now. Fine, if you say so, I'll leave it at that. Yes, I'm sorry, Senpai. Why are you apologizing? Shinji's the one in the wrong. Don't I say Shinji's name, Sakura awkwardly looks away. It can only mean he is the cause of the bruise on her hand. Shinji Mato has a bad habit of treating his younger sister like crap. I noticed it about a year ago. Every now and then I'd see Sakura injured, and she'd always make excuses when asked what happened. When asked Shinji about it, he revealed to me, to my shock, that he'd been the one who hit Sakura. Asked why, and he told me it was because she'd done something he hadn't liked. I got pretty pissed off, so I did to Shinji what he'd done to Sakura. We haven't been on great terms since then. Well, I mean, fair enough. But yeah. Sheesh, what a jerk. Senpai, have you made up with my brother? Why would I make up with that? A-hole. Huh? Yeah, sure, we never fought in the first place, so there's not much call for making up. Well, that may be how you see it, but my brother doesn't see it the same way. He thinks you're still fighting, so you should be careful. What Sakura says strikes me as odd. Be careful? Of Shinji? Yes, he's angry with you. And here he was the very reason why you quit the club. Shinji had nothing to do with me quitting. Well, he might have been a factor, but it's nothing that you should worry about. And Shinji's right, this is a little unsightly. I pointed at my left shoulder. There's a little scar there. It happened about 1.5 years ago. Something fell on me during one of my jobs, injuring my left shoulder. Ended up with just a broken bone, but I also came away with a bump on my shoulder. After the accident, I quit the Kyoto Club. Our school's Kyoto Club, out of respect for formalities, allows students to perform sacred shooting rituals. Male students participating in this exposed their left shoulder. Shinji pointed out that it may be disrespectful for someone performing a sacred shot to expose a scar, And since I was getting busy with my various jobs, I decided to quit the club. I can't say that's incorrect. That seems odd to me, though. What's wrong with scars? Senpai, I ask this often, but are you never going to shoot again? Miss Fujimura even said your injury shouldn't affect your performance. Fujini would say that even if I'd broken every bone in my body. Senpai, I'm being serious. I know I should give her a serious answer, but unfortunately I can't give Sakura the answer she's looking for. I don't have time to do club activities like you do, but it's not something I should prioritize, so I think I'll give it a rest for a while. How long is a while? However long I feel like, or maybe until it's time for you to graduate. I'm looking forward to having you look after me then, Sakura. I pat Sakura's shoulder. Oh, okay. I'll be waiting when that time comes. She nods so violently, it looks like she might drop the plates. It's almost 7:30. Sakura and Fujini have long since left the house for their morning club activities. I went to school early yesterday because Issei asked me to, but I leave the house at the usual time today. I noticed something strange as I walked down the hill towards the intersection. Several police cars are parked in front of a house. Something must have happened since a crowd has gathered. There are easily 20 people watching. I'm curious, but the mass of people prevents me from finding out what's happening. I don't have much time, so I should hurry to school. So that's probably going to be relevant later. I make it to school 10 minutes before the first bell. As I cross through the gate with plenty of time as usual. Hey, morning, Emiya. I run into a familiar student. You haven't even changed yet, Mitsuzuri. Homeroom's about to start. You really don't have time to say hi to me. You're absolutely right. Matter of fact, as always, Emiya. I don't know what's so funny, but she laughs heartily, not caring about her surroundings. This is Ayako Mitsuzuri. She's been a classmate of mine since we were first years, and she's currently the captain of the Kyoto Club. She's an unbelievably insightful person, and it was expected that she would be the team's next captain since her first year with the team. Mitsuzuri is a precocious sort, and people have always had high hopes for her, and even leaned on her, ever since she was the first year. And then again, she gets mad whenever someone mentions that in front of her, claiming she doesn't look as old as people think. Were you just thinking something bad about me? No. I wouldn't dare. Just making an observation. If you want to get angry about it, that's your call. You don't say that. That may be your honest answer, but you never say out loud what's really in that head of yours. Because unlike Shinji, you never let your true self show. Shinji, what's he got to do with this? Not how much either of you protests. You and Shinji are friends. You are his only male friend, and let me remind you that I'm the captain of the Kyoto Club. Isn't it only natural for me to associate our club's troublemaker with our former troublemaker? Me, a troublemaker? No, I don't believe it. I guess. The Kyoto Club's got nothing to do with it, but he and I go back a long way. I see you just got ticked off. You always get frosty whenever the Kyoto Club gets mentioned. You sure had some guts quitting and leaving Shinji behind, you know? Did you not consider how the other people you left behind might feel, like Sakura and me? What? Did Shinji do something bad again? We never have a day he doesn't do something bad. But he might have gone a bit too far yesterday. What did he do? He made a first-year guy quit. Mitsuzuri sighs gravely. Seeing her look so serious is rare to begin with, but the rest of her story is particularly alarming. What the heck? Why'd he quit? Shinji took his anger out on him. He gathered all the female members and made the first year who barely learned how to handle a bow shoot his bow until he hit the target. Shinji mocked him the whole time. What? How could you let something like that happen? I would never let that happen, but a captain's got a lot to do, you know. You know very well that I don't live in the dojo. Well, yeah, but what the hell was Shinji thinking? Maybe harsher than the others, but he's not the type to make someone into a spectacle. Listen to you, here's something to me. What do you mean by that? Were you just thinking something bad about me? I wouldn't dare, just making an observation. If you want to get angry at it, that's your call. Why, you? It's my own words against me. Fine, so what got into Shinji? Why'd he do that? I heard Tosaka shot him down pretty brutally. Well, I mean, kinda his fault for thinking he had a shot with her. But, you know. Tosaka? You mean that Tosaka? Do you know any other Tosakas in the school? The second year honor student in class A, Miss Perfect Rin Tosaka. That's the first time I've heard that nickname. But it fits. It's no surprise Shinji got rejected. And knowing Tosaka, she probably had some pretty harsh insults to go with that rejection. Anyway, Shinji's been acting out since yesterday. And that's why I've had to watch him like a hawk at the dojo up until now. Shinji does have a low tolerance for some things. I know it might be tough, but good luck, Mitsuzuri. Yeah, but you know how Shinji never lets go of anything? I'm just afraid he might really do something bad the next time he asks Tosaka and gets rejected again. No, even Shinji wouldn't go near someone who just rejected him. He's good about that sort of thing. But what if the person who turned him down comes near him instead? I don't know why, but Tosaka swings by the dojo to come watch. Oh well, you quit so you probably don't know that. That's news to me. Rin Tosaka doesn't participate in any club activities because her family forbids it or something. She even turned down nominations to be a member of the student council. So I always thought she went straight home after school. I guess this isn't horrible. Once in a while, he's always acted high and mighty, so it might be good for him to struggle for once. Sorry, but not sorry. Mitsuzuri has a weird way of looking at this. Now that I think about it, they say that Rin Tosaka has a lot of enemies. I wonder if Mitsuzuri is one of them too. Hey, Mitsuzuri, that's kind of cruel even for you. Oh, it's almost time. Siete Mia, you should swing by to see my bow work next time. Mitsuzuri hastily runs off. Classic Mitsuzuri. And never mind just how forthright she always is. I feel a bit more at ease and head towards the classroom. It's lunchtime. Our school lunch has, our school has quite the cafeteria, and most of the students eat lunch there. But there are some old-fashioned students who still bring their own lunches, including myself and the student council president, sitting in front of me. Hey Mia, can I have some of your fried chicken? My lunch is kind of lacking in protein. Fine, but why is your lunch always so plain, Issei? I know you live in a temple, but there's no rule that prohibits you from consuming alcohol or meat, right? Absolutely not. The idea is anachronistic. It's just how my father does things. According to him, a young priest should not indulge themselves in luxuries, and if I want to complain, I should do something about it. So I'm actually considering joining the circus one of these days. That sounds like your old man. Isai's father is the priest at Ryudu Temple, a larger-than-life figure who's also friends with Fujini's grandfather. Anyone who gets along with old man Fujimura can't possibly be normal. Well then, here you go. You owe me. I passed my bento box to him. Ah, much thanks. This is pretty much begging for alms. Isai bows deeply. I honestly question whether I should be reminded that he's the son of a priest at times like this. Oh, by the way, did you hear about the commotion at the 2nd District around the intersection you and I part ways going home? The intersection? Could be the same intersection where I saw all the police cars this morning? Apparently there was a murder there. Don't know the details, but only one child out of a family of 4 survived. Both parents and the older sister were stabbed to death, but with some sort of long weapon instead of the typical knives. Polearm, eh? A long weapon. Does he mean a sword or something? If it's a murder, then that weapon killed the parents and the older sister. I can't help but imagine it. Someone sneaks in the house late at night. Unreasonable violence, a horrible nightmare the victim neither imagined nor wished for. Like a traffic accident. Parents are slaughtered, the older sister falls victim without knowing what is happening. The lone child, hidden in the shadows, is covered in their family's blood. Issa, did they catch the murderer? Doesn't look like it. Accident stemming from faulty construction, Shinto. Now murder with something like a sword here. It's no wonder the school curfew is... what's wrong with you? Did you choke on your lunch? Huh, nothing. Why do you ask? Well, you had a stern look on your face, which surprised me. Sorry, I shouldn't bring this up while we're eating. Issei apologizes and tries to lighten the mood. I actually don't mind topics like this. I didn't realize it was looking so severe. And then there was a gentle knock on the student council room's door. Sorry, is Ryudu here? Yes, what is it, sir? Mr. Kazuki enters, and Issei steps over to him to have a quiet conversation. It must be a casual student council matter, since Issei looks relaxed. Look at that. Something I don't see every day. Issei's surprisingly shy. He keeps his distance from classmates and even teachers, but for some reason he's warmed up to the student council advisor, Mr. Kazuki. Maybe they get along because they're both straight-laced. Suichiro Kazuki is the homeroom teacher for Class 2A, and he's very serious and kind of weird. Some parts of that is probably why he and Issei get along so well. The two continue to talk. As I watch them, I can't stop thinking about the murder. Classes end and it's time to go home. I can't wander around because I've work today. I shouldn't do anything at school. I should head straight to the neighboring town, but... maybe the morning's conversation bothered me more than I realized. Next thing I know, I'm at the Kyoto Club. What the hell am I thinking? Mitsuzuri said Rin Tosaka frequently visits. Well, that, I hadn't thought of that, but I think it'd be a problem if Shinji got violent against Tosaka. Shinji's unstoppable when he gets mad. Shinji lashing out at Tosaka because she rejected him would be bad. Well, I don't know exactly how, but it'd just be bad. Oh, Tosaka's not even here. Tosaka's nowhere to be found around the dojo. Mitsuzuri worried for nothing. Who's not here? Ugh. I'm asking who's not here. Issa, who I thought I'd parted ways with, is standing right next to me. Why are you here, Issa? Don't scare me like that. I saw you snooping around the dojo and I couldn't help but come check it out. So who you're saying is not here? Well, it's Tosaka. I heard she had a spat with Shinji yesterday, so I wanted to make sure things were okay. So that's giving up more information than you have to is kind of suspicious for you. And asked you who wasn't here. What? It's none of your business what I do around here. But it's pointless, Emil. Tosaka isn't here. She cut classes today. What? Cut classes, so she's absent? I see. Wait, Issei, why do you think she cut class? That's not the sort of thing she'd ever do. Of course she would. She's not the type to ever get sick, so if you want to know what I think, she's bad. Don't let her looks fool you, Mia, or she'll swallow you whole. Huh? Somehow what Issei is saying irritates me. I may not know Tosaka that well, but I don't think she's a bad person. Watch what you say, Issei. You know Tosaka's not like that. Have you got a secret crush on Tosaka too? My apologies if so. Forget what I said. Hey. A secret crush like hell. Don't make assumptions. I'm just worried Shinji's going to stir up some trouble. So you came here to sweep in and stop Shinji from attacking Tosaka. You really were going to take on some dirty work for nothing. It's not my place to say this, but you got bad taste, Mia. I'm unscathed so far because nothing's happened. But Issei, what was that crap you were saying? What, that having the hots for Tosaka is in bad taste? Yeah, that. Tosaka's popular. I haven't heard any bad rumors about her. No, you haven't, and that's what bothers me. What, is she too perfect to be real or something, in your estimation? What part bothers you? Everything about her. That woman's a vixen, a minx, a monster. And my instinct should dislike her. My advice to you is to not fall for her. You're the one who always warns everyone not to talk about people behind their back. Oh, come on, this hardly counts as gossip. I'm even talking loud enough for others to hear. No wonder I sense people watching us. Well, that's a relief. I'm real glad Tosaka's absent today. Issei, please, can we talk a little quieter? If you say so. Understood. Well, have you know, my words were hardly slander. I just wanted to let you know that I'm wary of Rin Tosaka. Everything I said is just my own personal opinion. Yet you used words like vixen and minx. I'm pretty sure minx is definitely a derogatory term. Don't worry about it, it's a compliment. There are good vixens and monsters too, you know. I simply use those terms to describe her in a good way. Issei laughs. I'll see you later. I'm going back to the student council room, but you're going to your job, right? Really shouldn't waste your time hanging around here, then. Issei leaves calm and composed, perhaps because he felt satisfied having said everything he wanted to say. I've known him for 2 years now, but honestly, I still don't get that guy. I ride the bus from school for 20 minutes. I arrive at Shinto, the neighboring town, across the bridge. If it's not even 5 yet, I still have some time. There aren't many part-time jobs in the residential area of Miyama, but there are plenty in Shinto since it's a developing area. Our school allows students to hold part-time jobs, so I take on simple jobs. I prefer my jobs to be physical, and the tougher and shorter they are, the better. I get paid all while training my body, so it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Today I'll work from 5 to 8 o'clock for a simple loading job. It may just be 3 hours of work, but it feels more like 6 hours since they make you work without a minute's rest. Which means I need a rest when I have the opportunity, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Walking around aimlessly would be a waste of energy, so I decided to rest at a park until it's time. This park is nestled between buildings, and it's like a super giant plaza full of trees and shrubbery. A park should typically be filled with families and couples during weekends and holidays, but this one is deserted at this hour. In fairness, this place is always desolate, no matter the day or time. This place is the same as always. I sigh in exasperation. The area is unkept, and it's really pretty ugly compared to the other places that are properly landscaped and maintained. As of the desolate location had set the mood, the wind itself blows cold and harsh. This place is the remnant of the great catastrophe that happened 10 years ago. It's the very place where I was saved from the brink of death. Interesting. I believe Rin... in the prologue, didn't Rin describe this as where the last railroad ended? Or something? Guess that makes sense. Why don't they seed some grass here or something? It's a shame to keep it like this. The area is quite large, so if they leveled it, there'd be plenty of space to work on the park. I sit down on a bench as I think. With nothing else to do, I stare out over the burned area to pass the time. I don't remember anything that happened here. The only thing I remember is that it was hot, and I couldn't breathe. And that some people died trying to save others. I wonder why that happened. One adult here died because they were trying to save a child from a burning house. Another person was offered all of the available water to extinguish their raw, parched throats, while others in the same situation died. Someone here tried to flee the fire as fast as they could, but the people left behind died. And someone died here because they gave whatever it was that kept them alive to someone they didn't even know. And like thinking about that. Just thinking of people trying to help and becoming victims for their trouble makes me angry. Is it too much to ask for everyone to be saved and for them to get their happy ending afterward? All I want is to see people peacefully prevail. Why can't that happen? That's a tough one. What you're essentially saying is that you want to save everyone. That was Kiritsugu's response to the question when a very young me asked it. As a child, I obviously refused to accept that idea. But you saved me, Kiritsugu. You knew I knew you were a magician and you could do anything. I knew you were a champion of justice who wouldn't let anyone suffer, and you did it without asking for any reward. That's why I've always believed you managed to save everyone back then. In response to shouting this at him, Kiritsugu looked more troubled than I'd ever seen him, and said something I remember to this day. Shiru, saving one person means you don't save someone else. Listen, being saved by a champion of justice only means you're one of the few they managed to reach. It might be obvious, but that's what a champion of justice is. Yeah, I get that. Now that it's been pointed out, it seems so obvious. Imagine if there was a burglar and some hostages, and the burglar intends to kill the hostages. Under normal circumstances, the majority of the hostages would probably die. But if by some miracle all the hostages were saved, there's someone who didn't get saved. the burglar, of course, since saving the hostages was done at the cost of his life. The people the champion of justice saves are only those whom the champion of justice deems to save. That's why saving everyone is impossible. Even God can't do that. Especially if it's a natural disaster. No person's able to save everyone and everything. The fire 10 years ago was like that. As someone who was miraculously saved from the incident, it wasn't my place to say anything at this point. I still don't like it. I don't do anything like that. I don't like the idea that there's a limitation to who can be saved. No matter how impossible it may be, I need to reach out to help. I can't stand to see people around me die like back then. If the person I am now had been there 10 years ago, I would have thrown myself into the fire. But then I would have died, and for nothing. That would have happened for sure. Jeez, I can't even fantasize in my head. Oh crap, I can't believe it's already 5! A bell in the distance rings, chiming 5 o'clock. I get up from the bench and hurry to my part-time job. By the time I'm done working, the sun has long since set. It's a little before 8 o'clock. I finished about 10 minutes earlier because I kind of overworked myself. Maybe it's because I stopped by that park before work. That might have motivated me to push myself harder. At the train station, the night is just getting started. There are a bunch of people milling about, and an endless stream of cars on the road. Guess there's no need for me to get something for Fujini. I walk along the path as I gaze up at a lighted building. It's the biggest building in Shinto, so I can't see all the way up to the top. As I gaze at the building, enjoying the nighttime scenery. Huh? I think I see something bizarre. What is that? I stop and try to look at the very top. I squint, trying to bring what I see into focus, but it's like staring at grains of rice. Rin. It looks like someone I know. But I can't think why this girl I know would have a reason to be there. It doesn't seem like she's going to do anything up there. But she's just standing there looking down at the city as the wind ruffles her hair. She doesn't seem to notice me down below. Actually, there's no way she could see me. Even my near-perfect vision, enhanced with MageCraft, can barely distinguish what's up there. I'm able to tell she's up there because she's isolated, but there's no way she'd be able to pick me out of a crowd on the ground. She's just looking down at the town. It seems like she's looking for something. I can almost feel her sharp gaze even at this distance. I forget how long it's been, but I continue to look up at the girl standing in the void. She stands at the top of a high tower. She's like a magician, looking down at the surface world with the bright moon shining behind her. Oh! And then she disappears, apparently done with whatever brought her up there. The rooftop stands empty, and the scenery returns back to nothing more than the beautiful night sky. Was that Tosaka up there? I can't be sure, but I'm probably right about who it was, at least. There aren't many girls I know who stand out like her, and besides, I'm not so out of it that I'd fail to notice a girl I secretly admire. It's just... Tosaka sure has a weird way of spending her time. Not that I'm one to talk, but you know. Unlike Shinto, there is no sign of people anywhere in Miyama. There's nobody around after 8 at night, and the town is silent and still. The house I saw this morning stands across the intersection. There are no signs of life, and a no trespassing sign hangs over the front door. In just a single day, the house has fallen quiet, almost like an abandoned building. A girl and her parents were killed by a burglar. I wonder what life awaits now for the single child who survived. I bit my lip, frustrated by my powerlessness. I promised I'd be just like Kiritsugu, but I couldn't do anything, even when something like this happened so close to home. I would help people, but I don't even know what I can do. I reach the top of the hill where my house sits. The lights are on, so Fujini or Sakura are still inside. I'm home. Oh, it's just you, Fujini. Oh, welcome back, Shiro. Fujini turns toward me, munching on a rice cracker. The TV is tuned to a lively variety show. You're home late again. Didn't I tell you to come home earlier since it gets dark so fast in winter? I had my job. Like, what do you want me to do? I am home early. I had to work until 8, so I got off my back about it. So get off my back about that. So where's Sakura? I see dinner's already prepared. Sakura went home early. She said she had something to do today, so she just came and made dinner. Fujini cheerfully replies. As far as she's concerned, anyone who makes her food is a good person. I see. That's probably a good thing for now. It's been dangerous lately, so maybe I'll take over making dinner until the new school term starts. Objection! You come home so late! If you make dinner when you get back, I won't get to eat until after 10. Couldn't you just eat at home? What are you talking about? This is my home. Fujini tilts her head, puzzled. Honestly, I'm not sure if a response like that should make me happy or sad. Sheesh, fine. I know it's pointless asking you to make dinner. By the way, what's that you got there? You didn't bring over more junk, did you? Fujini has a tendency to leave a bunch of junk here. She'll bring stuff like bowls from restaurants that are too big to be functional and unnecessarily heavy, earthen teapot, or a weird guitar that plays itself. She'll just think this place is a convenient storage or something. Show it to me. I'm going to toss it if it's trash. This thing? It's just a poster. Fujini hands me the poster. It's probably a poster of some no-name singer. Let's see. I knew it. It's a poster of a young man wearing a military uniform smiling with his thumbs up, all in front of a cheap-looking blue sky background. The caption of the poster in bloody font. Loves the lovely Ranger Land. Come to the self-defense meetup. Hey, this is a recruitment poster for a youth group. I don't want it, so you can have it. You trying to recruit me into the military? I don't want this either! I quickly roll the poster back up and try to whack Fujini on the head with it. You missed! However, Fujini counters mercilessly with another poster she'd been holding. Conk. Her poster sword bops me lightly. Oh, okay, not lightly. Ah! Stars, I see stars. You thought you were going to hit me. You'll need to up your game if you're able to do that. That's not the issue here. How the hell does a paper poster make a sound like that? She managed some sort of technique only a true poster master can execute? Oh, sorry. My poster's a collector's edition made of fancy plate steel. What? Is your head okay, Shiro? Fujini, you're going to end up killing someone one of these days. If that time ever comes, it'll all be good because you'll sweep in and marry me. Yeah, not a chance. I'm not marrying a natural-born killer. What? I don't think I'm that violent. You would be that unaware of your actions. Pray that I survive. I'll have to be very careful from now on if I'm going to have any hope of avoiding being murdered. Keep talking big, but now I'm hungry, Shiro. I've been waiting for so long, so let's hurry up and eat already. Fujini gets up. What's up with Fujini? She must be really hungry if she's offering to help, even if it's just help setting the table. Fine, then you take out the plates and bowls. You can at least scoop the rice into bowls, right? Of course I can. Hey, do you think it'll be okay if I use a bigger rice bowl? That shouldn't be a problem. Sakura's not here today, so we'll definitely have leftovers. Good, good. Then you and I will have a matching bowls today. Fujini scoops mounds of rice into the 2 large bowls. Whatever, I was going to go for a and helping anyway. And if I meddle in what Fujini does now, we may really not have any dinner. Besides, this is the kind of chaotic scene dinner at my home has been for years. Another day ends. We finish our rowdy dinner, and after I see off Fujini, I take a bath. After that, I head to the shed for my daily training. I complete it as usual and then go to sleep. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Today ends peacefully and without incident.